We can start the presentation. So bear with me just one moment while I share my screen for you. Brilliant, and I hope that you can all view my screen, hopefully.
Yes.
Yes. Brilliant, fantastic. So hello everyone, thank you very much for joining us today. We only have about 25 minutes, so we will get started now. My name's Emma, I'm from City University London, and our business school is called Bayes Business School, and you might recognise that as formerly Cass Business School. And I'll let my colleagues introduce themselves as well.
So hello everybody, my name is Claudia Fackler-Hopf. I come from Grenoble École de Management, and I have a colleague of mine here with you. Bianca, where are you?
Hi, my name is Bianca Hidalgo. I work at the admissions department of Grenoble École de Management. Welcome.
Fantastic. So today in the presentation, we're going to be kind of giving you an insight into studying business management. So what we're going to be covering is an introduction to business management, what you can expect from a business management degree. We'll then talk about entry requirements, generally speaking, but also in our presentation, we'll also talk about our entry requirements and of course our business schools. So you have a bit more information about who we are, and you can ask us more questions at the fair after the presentation. And then finally, we will sum everything up in a nice little summary at the end. So firstly, what is business management? Business management is one of the most popular subjects to study for students, international students, generally speaking. And what you'll find is that you will cover core business functions as part of a business management degree. So you're going to be covering things like finance, marketing, human resources, and corporate responsibility. So these are kind of the main pillars of what you'll be learning. And there could be other areas that universities will teach you as well, but those will be kind of the main areas. You will also understand subjects that underpin these key functions of business management, such as economics, organizational behavior, and strategy as well. You will study academic concepts and the theories behind management, but crucially, you will then be able to appreciate how they relate to practical issues faced by managers. So you're going to really see how that translates into real life. You're not just going to be reading and doing research. You're going to actually see in real life how that will transpire into the real world as well. And finally, you will acquire skills and knowledge that will be useful in a fast and ever-changing business environment. What's great about studying business management at universities are that universities will really be able to kind of be in touch with business and professions which they're training you to go into and build their degree programs to make sure that you have that relevant knowledge and experience, which is going to be really important in a really competitive business environment as well. So why study business management? Hopefully if you're joining us today, the reason you're joining us is because you're interested in the subject. And what's great is that you get to study this subject for the next 3 or sometimes 4 years, depending on where you study and what you choose to study. Many universities will offer work placements, foreign language lessons, and study abroad opportunities within a business degree. And that's really important, both in the UK and France and globally as well. There will be lots of opportunities within a business management degree, not just to study, but to actually get involved and to do extracurricular activities as well as part of a business management degree. Now, with business management, you can actually often combine it with other subjects. So you don't have to just study business management. You can also study business with economics, business with finance, or you can actually sometimes build your degree, completely unusual subjects together. So some universities might offer the opportunity to do business with a language, or business with fashion, or business with psychology. So don't just think that it's just business management. There's a range of different opportunities within business management, which can really help you and focus on your interests as well. And finally, you're going to gain a huge range of transferable skills that can be applied to a huge range of different careers, which are going to be obviously really attractive to employers. And it is a fantastic door opener to a range of careers. I mean, our alumni go into a whole host of different careers, as you can see in management, economics, finance, journalism, communications, HR teaching. So you do have the world of your oyster really with a business management degree. There's lots of opportunities for you after you've graduated as well. Now we're going to branch off now into the UK and France. So what can you expect from a degree in the UK, a business management degree? So firstly, depending on where you study, the courses are generally between 3 or 4 years. 4 years if you're studying in Scotland, for example, or if you choose to do things like a study abroad or a work placement opportunity, that can sometimes make it a 4-year programme, the rest of the UK. What you'll usually find is universities will have a range of different business management programmes. And the first year will be a common first year for all business management students. So for example, at City, we have 6 different business management programs. And the first year is exactly the same for all of those programs, which gives you that extra year if you want to switch and change your kind of specialisation after the first year. And that's really, really typical for a UK university. Of course, it will be different sometimes depending on the university, but generally speaking, that's the trend. How you will learn. So for UK universities, you will have a mixture of lectures, seminars, tutorials, and workshops. So the lectures are going to be those really large lecture halls that you'll probably seen on TV for about maybe 200, 300 students in them. You'll also have seminars, which will be between maybe 6 to 12 students, where you kind of have those in-depth discussions to follow on from those lectures. Tutorials are one-to-one teaching opportunities. So each university will give you a personal tutor, so someone on the course who will be able to help you and guide you and give you any advice and help throughout your degree. And workshops. Business is very collaborative. We try to make it, lots of group work, workshop opportunities as well. So you'll find it's going to be very hands-on and very interactive. Your assessments are going to be a mix of essays, presentations, reports, and online tests. Now, depending the weighting of that really depends on the university, and you can find lots of information about how you're assessed and how you will kind of gain your grades on the university website. So please do check that out. In terms of contact hours, really depends again on the university, but generally speaking, it's typical for you to have about 20 hours of teaching time per week. Again, this is dependent on the university, but independent learning is a really crucial part of learning in the UK. It's when we talk about independent learning, we're talking about extra reading, your writing, your homework that you'll be set as well. But again, that will take you maybe an extra 10 or 20 hours per week on top of your face-to-face teaching. So placements, I've already really touched upon this, but just to give you an idea, these are some of our examples from our business school. But you'll have the opportunity usually with the business management degree to do a whole year work placement called a sandwich year, or you might choose to do an internship or a micro placement if you don't want to do a whole year and you still want to maybe graduate in 3 years, but you can in between the summer months or during term time do work placements as well. And each university in the UK does have its own careers team, which are dedicated to helping you not only after you graduate, but as you are studying with us to find these work placements and to make sure you're successful on those placement opportunities. Study abroad. This is really crucial within a business management degree. Lots of universities in the UK will be kind of encouraging you to do a study abroad, and we have fantastic partners globally. You can see here where our business school has partners. It is sometimes compulsory with some business management courses to do a study abroad. So, for example, with our international business management degree, it is compulsory for either you to do a whole year study abroad, or a semester study abroad as part of your degree program. So please take that into account if you're not really keen on doing a study abroad. And finally, the entry requirements. So for the UK, all our entry requirements should be listed on our websites, and that should be your first point of call when you're looking at entry requirements. Sometimes our brochures, our prospectuses come out of date very quickly, so please do check that. Usually on the websites, it'll include information about the French bac, the IB, A-levels, APs, for example. If they don't, please do contact the universities just to make sure you don't want to waste one of your choices, for example, because you haven't met those initial entry requirements. We all set our own entry requirements, so they're all going to be very different. So it's all about you shortlisting your kind of top universities and doing your research to see what those requirements would be, and again, ask questions if you're not sure what they are. For most UK universities, they won't be asking for specific subjects for a business management degree. Sometimes you might find that they, for example, with the French bac, they might ask for the maths grade there. But for example, if you're doing IB or A-levels, they won't ask for, say, a higher level math, or they won't ask for A-levels in math or business. But again, it's very dependent on each of the universities. For example, I put some examples here. So LSE request maths for their business management degrees. King's request humanities or social science subject for their business management degrees. So again, it's just making sure you're doing your own research there. We always get asked about work experience. Do we need it? The quick answer to that is not necessarily. Universities, just because it's a business management degree, we don't expect students to have a huge amount of experience. So don't worry about putting that in your application. If you've got it, it's great. You can talk about it in your personal statement, but don't worry if you don't have it. It's not something that will be a requirement for you as part of the application. Things like extracurricular activities, things that you can think about that might be great for universities to have. So, for example, I always get asked, I'm captain of the football team, will the university like it if I have that? And the short answer is not necessarily, but if you can talk to us about how that's giving you great communication skills, team leadership skills, that is great for an application, for example. And finally, depending on where you are in the world and maybe sometimes your nationality, you might need to take an English language test. Some universities can accept your IB grades if you're taking IB or GCSE English grades, or even if you're French bac, some universities might accept those English grades, but not all. And it's, again, specifically down to each university to set those requirements, and you will have to do your research in order to make sure that you have all that the correct information. Okay, so that's all from me for now, and I'll hand you over to my colleagues Claudia and Bianca.
Okay, great. Thank you, Emma. So to move over to what you can expect if you decide that you want to study a business or management in France. Well, you can do that either at the university or at business schools. The programs that you will find in both institutions will be, well, mostly in French, but nowadays very many, especially the business schools, they have full programs in English as well, okay? And they will be, those programs, they either, well, take a duration of 4 years, like the typical BBA programs, or then other schools, other business schools may have decided that they want to put everything into a shorter duration and teach everything and the same content in 3 years. So the major difference maybe between a 4-year and a 3-year degree would be that you would probably do a longer internship or a longer study abroad when you do a 4-year program. Business schools, for example, since they are not necessarily within the university area, they do offer recognized degrees. Okay, so those degrees, they are recognized by the French state. be it for a bachelor's or a master's level. At business schools, if I'm talking a little bit about, for example, the experience that we have at my school in Grenoble, we teach also in smaller groups. Okay, so even if we have, well, there are some, amphi lectures, obviously, but then the normal teaching will often take place in a group of up to 40 or maybe 50 students only, which also asks for quite an active participation in the classroom of all the students. And as Emma said already, and so there is no difference to what you'll find in the UK, independent study is really important. You'll have on average 15 to 20 contact hours per week on a business program, but then you're supposed to also work and study outside of the classroom, be in work groups or do the reading and everything to be prepared for the following lectures then. Well, the teaching methods is also lectures, or then, like I said, smaller tutorials, workshops, seminars, you name it. It's very diverse. Also often there are also very interactive and innovative teaching methods there as well. And the assessment often includes often consists of a continuous assessment, which basically goes through the complete semester. And then for a module, there can be a final exam, or it can be also assessed by a continuous assessment only. Next slide, please, Emma. Thank you. Here are some examples from what our students do on their internships after their first or after their second year. As you can see, there are quite some fancy names there. But then we also have those students who maybe have a more entrepreneurial mindset, and they would go and work in startups. So that's also completely fine. And the main idea really of an internship, of a work placement, is to get the students into a working environment, and so that they can also, well, first of all, experience what it is to be in such an environment, but also to put into practice what they have learned. So, to all the theory that you gain in the classroom, how does that pan out in a professional working environment? Next slide, please. And just as Emma's school, base business school, at Grenoble École de Management, and especially for the program that I am in charge of, the Bachelor in International Business, we have partner universities for our study abroad, because on our program also we do offer, and we strongly recommend to all the students that they go and leave their comfort zone, obviously, and go abroad and experience what it means to to be in a different environment. And you cannot imagine the many times that we see students as they come back from their study abroad, how they mature and how different their view is. And it also allows you to get quite a different view on your own country, for example. Next slide, please. Okay, so then as regards the entry requirements for schools in France, it's basically what Emma said already for the UK. Obviously, please, your first check should always be a school's website, or then if you have if there is a contact person indicated there, make sure you check out the website, you get in touch with somebody, or maybe there's a possibility to talk to current students or to alumni, and just make sure that you really find out before you commit to anything that this program is really the program that you want to be following. You would need, obviously, a French BAC, A-levels, or an IB, high school diploma or equivalent. Anything particular for admissions, you'd have to check that on the school's websites. And then, obviously, as you start a business program only, as a first-year student, for example, you will not be expected to have any work experience, nor would you be expected to have it exactly planned out what you want to do with this degree. So this can also be something that will then happen as you go through the program. The first year on the program is often very well, gives you the basics of business and management. And then as you go along, you'll have the possibility to specialize and to find out what really you want to get out of the degree. And then obviously, if you're not an English native speaker, then you would also be expected to present an official English test as the TOEFL or the IELTS. Or you may also do an English interview with the admissions department. Okay.
Thank you very much. So we have about 5 minutes left. So in the next 5 minutes, we'll kind of quickly talk about each of our business schools very briefly. So our Bayes Business School, formerly Cass Business School, is based in central London. Very international. We have about 160 different nationalities. On the business management programs, it's majority international students. It's only about 20-25% UK, and the rest of the students come from over 100 different nationalities. So if you're looking for that international outlook, you will get that with us. You can see some of our rankings, and we have a very good reputation and ranking, not just within the UK, but globally as well. And you can see at the very end there our entry requirements for both for the French bac, the IB and A levels. So depending on which curriculum you're taking, what qualification you're taking, you can see what we would require for our business management programs there. So our degrees, we have 6 degree programs. As I already mentioned, whatever one you choose at the beginning, you can easily switch, so don't worry. So for example, you could switch from business management to international business after your first year. So really flexible and easy for students. So we're probably known for our creativity and entrepreneurial kind of aspect to our business management degrees. You will do some personal branding throughout your business management program. You will be encouraged to take on new ventures, to get involved, to do events. We do lots of events with Tech City, which is about 15 minutes walk from our campus, and it's the largest cluster of startup companies in Europe. We actually have a base there, and we actually try and get you involved with those events as much as possible. We have also a very really great careers team for the business school, and our students go on to a range of different and excellent careers after they've graduated with us. And just to give you, if you wanted more information, you can, if you've got a phone, very quickly, you can scan that. You can speak to one of our students on the business management courses, or you can attend one of our online events, which are happening throughout the course of the autumn into next year. We actually do have an open day in a couple of weeks as well. In terms of our location, we're only about a 20-minute walk from St. King's Cross, St. Pancras, if you did want to, come from Paris, for example. And that's my email address there at the very bottom. So if you did want to speak to me, of course, you can speak to me at the fair as well. But after today, if you have any questions, you can contact me there.
Okay, and so quickly, a few more things about my school, Grenoble École de Management. So we're located, obviously, well, as it says in the name, in Grenoble, at the foot of the French Alps. And the school is renowned for innovation, information technology, and information management and entrepreneurship. We have accreditations as well, and we also are a very international school with 130 different nationalities represented. We also try to really make the student journey a very personalized one, and so that people really get the possibility to do whatever they want to do and not what they think they have to do, so that really people can find and they can decide, for example, which major they want to choose in our last semester and where they want to go for their study abroad. There are festivals for entrepreneurship and you name it. But maybe we can go to the next slide already. Thank you. So my program, the Bachelor in International Business, is a 3-year generalist program, completely taught in English and recognized by the French state, with more than 60 different nationalities. It includes compulsory internships, a study abroad, and as I said earlier, a specialization. And for the admissions requirements, well, you can see them here as well. Sorry, Bianca, maybe we'll just wrap this up quickly. And then we also, our Bachelor in International Business is taught in Grenoble, and we also have a more specialized program in Digital and Business Development, which is taught at our Paris campus. This program is taught in French, and it includes the alternance for those who are interested in that, internships and study abroad as well. And then maybe just the final slide. Thank you. So here are the names of two of our student ambassadors who would be happy to reply to your questions. If you need additional information, Bianca Hidalgo is the person to contact. You see the QR code there for our brochure as well. And I've seen there were a few questions from people in the chat, but maybe the best thing really would be to ask all these questions at the booth at the fair afterwards, because we just do no longer have the time to deal with questions right now. We were told we just have 25 minutes.
Great. Thank you so much, Claudia and Bianca. I know that and thank you all for joining us today. Just to give you a very final summary, a business degree can really open doors to a range of different careers, which is a great, obviously, opportunity for you. Wherever you decide to study, whether it be in the UK or in France, you are obviously going to get an excellent business education and lots of different opportunities. I hope that has come across today. And I think the final thing from all of us is just to do your research. There's so many universities offering business management in both the UK and in France. And it's all about choosing the course that's right for you and doing that research and making sure that you're choosing and the right course for you and making sure that you've got everything that you need there. But thank you very much for joining us. As Claudia mentioned, please join us at our booth. If you've got any questions, we'd be very happy to help you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.